We heard about an island so isolated, so remote, it could be the last place on Earth where coral gardens thrive.
Billy C., Chief Underwater Explorer, is prepared to spend a month in Mozambique, East Africa, to find this oasis of coral bliss. Today on a special Scuba Nation documentary, we explore the island that time forgot, Ilha de Fogo, Fire Island.
So this journey, this story, all starts about the end of 2020. You know, we just went through one of the worst years ever. I was going through some personal stuff. We had COVID. I mean, everyone hated 2020. And it pretty much sidelined our crew. The Scuba Nation crew was sidelined. We couldn't travel, we couldn't do anything. Production was halted. And Tom Daly comes over, pretty much drags me out of bed. And he goes, "Guess what?" I go, "What?" He goes, "We're going to Africa." I was like, "What? What do you mean we're going to Africa?" And he knew that he needed to, get my spirits up, whatever. And we bought plane tickets that day. And we bought plane tickets to Maputo, Mozambique, because he has a friend that just bought an island called Ilha de Fogo, which is Portuguese for Fire Island.
To get an idea of the size of Fogo Island, it's no bigger than a half-mile in length and a quarter-mile wide. But what's so unique about it is that it's surrounded by this amazing barrier reef that is so much larger than the island itself. And it's this reef system that we'll be exploring. We are here in Moz, affectionately called Moz by the locals, to find and witness the last known destination where coral species remain abundant.
We're told it's like the best place, one of the last places in the world to see coral. But very few people know about this place. It's off the beaten path. It's in the Madagascar, between Madagascar and Mozambique. And it was just like, we're going. And I was like, okay, I guess we're going to Africa. So off we went.
With a very small population and minimal runoff the mainland, Fogo is surrounded by ocean currents rich with nutrients and very little, if any, pollutants. Currents run deep and seasons run opposite to America's. In other words, while New York is in summer, they are in winter, and vice versa.
There's a healthy mix of hard corals and soft corals. They coexist on the same outcroppings. Not only is it a testament to the health of the reef, it's also beautiful to watch. We are working hand in hand with marine biologists from the Moat Marine Laboratory and Aquarium in Sarasota, Florida. They're helping us to identify the diversity of coral species on the island of Fogo.
It was an adventure of a lifetime. I've never been to Africa. And to go exploring on this uninhabited island, which very few people have ever visited, and even fewer people have scuba dived on, was a dream come true. It's exactly what the doctor ordered.
The Scuba Nation crew sees this particular fish frequently in the Florida Keys and throughout the Caribbean. Although fleeting, this is their first encounter with flounder in Mozambique.
As scuba divers, we certainly enjoy what we call bottom time. That's time spent underwater. In Mozambique, topside was beautiful as well. After our dives, we stumbled upon this little island and baptized it as Corona Beach. We discovered it was home to a bird species called terns. Another fascinating part of Fogo are the majestic and colorful sunsets. It's as if the sky itself was on fire. Little did we know that a storm would come up that would push us off Fogo and send us on an entirely new adventure, one that would push the limits of adventure and beauty.
There's more to the adventure of East Africa that lies in wait for the Scuba Nation crew. Welcome back. What an adventure the Scuba Nation crew had on Fogo Island, and what a way to depart. Mother Nature forced her hand, and plans changed.
So plans changed. I mean, you cannot predict Mother Nature. We were supposed to stay on Fogo for 2 weeks. Mother Nature pushed us off. You know, the rains came pouring in, the winds howled, and we had to get out of Dodge. So what was supposed to be a Fogo adventure quickly ended, and we had to improvise. We had to literally rethink our whole game plan of what this Africa experience is going to be. We had to head home. We had to go back. We had to regroup. So what we did was improvise, come up with the game plan that would end up being an adventure of a lifetime. We were only supposed to stay here for 3 weeks, maybe 4. We ended up staying in Africa for 47 days. We went literally from Miami to LA. That's the equivalent. The only difference is going from Mozambique, Fogo Island, all the way down to Cape Town. You know, not most of the roads are paved. You know, a lot of them are dirt roads, especially in Mozambique. So this was going to be an adventure that would test your will, test your grit, test your passion. And it really ended up being a life-changing experience. The South Afrikaans guys and Beaten Over Travel decided our first stop would be Mashangulu. This is a beautiful area south of Mozambique. It's part of an African game reserve, and it's on the water. It's these dunes. No one lives there. You can walk for miles on the beach and not see a soul. So it was you and nature.
After Mashangulo, the team heads south to Sodwana Bay. Sodwana Bay, South Africa is like scuba diving the Caribbean or the Florida Keys. Warm waters, no need for wetsuits, and fish life at a maximum on the coral reefs. Northern South Africa is very similar to diving in the Maas. Life and corals are abundant.
So Duana Bay was nothing short of miraculous. The first 20 minutes of our dive, it was face-to-face shoals of fish, eyeball to eyeball, including the massive potato cod, which is the Florida version of the mighty Goliath grouper. These fish can exceed 600 pounds, like our friends here, or 270 plus kilograms from my metric-centric friends. Either way, these big boys are the kings of the reef.
Hawksbill turtles are considered spongivores, meaning their diet consists almost entirely on sponges. Sponges are a healthy part of the reef system, so having healthy sponges leads to having a healthy ecosystem in which turtles and other marine life can thrive together. Sodwana Bay marine life comes in all shapes and sizes, like this trumpetfish, to other odd creatures that call this reef their home.
When you see these massive creatures, these beautiful animals, you realize your significance in the universe. And it's very, very humbling. It's very humbling because, you know, we're sharing the earth with these guys.
Most of us see the beauty of Earth from above sea level to the sky. The lucky few travel below the surface and witness a hidden world, performing the ballet of life. So this part of the adventure is coming to an end. It was great to get into the waters at Sodwana Bay. But now, the next leg of our journey takes us to Inclement, South Africa. Home of Alawal Shoals, where we will experience some of the best shark diving in the world. Here, we'll meet legendary shark expert Walter Bernardis. The next leg of our journey takes us to Inclement, South Africa. And as the Scuba Nation crew travels south on this rugged coastline, you realize how wild and untamed the landscape is. Mountains crash deep into the Indian Ocean. Home of Alawal Shoals, where we will experience some of the best shark diving in the world. Here, we'll meet legendary shark expert Walter Bernardis.
What's the magic word?
Walter Bernardis is the founder of African Water Sports, a company specializing mostly in shark diving and the African tiger shark experience. A South African native, he's been diving these waters daily for decades. So much so that when diving, there's an obvious familiarity and mutual respect between Walter and some of the local sharks and wildlife, as if they recognize each other well. Walter let us in on two secrets. One, he promised us a tiger shark, and two, he said he could handle a shark and put it to sleep. Not an easy feat. It requires patience and several tries because the sharks are not always willing participants. Which by any measure makes the man not a man, but a legend. Well known in the scuba diving community worldwide. People travel from all corners of the world to see Walter put a shark into a catatonic state.
Black-tip reef sharks up to 9 feet, easily topping 700 plus pounds, is the bulk of what we were seeing during this dive. Now we're on to promise number 2. See the bold eye and the stripes of a tiger shark, which was an unexpected revelation. I've seen tiger sharks before, in Jupiter, Florida, and the Caribbean, but I didn't anticipate to see this beauty off the coast of East Africa. Walter made sure I didn't miss this moment. What makes this moment unique is that any day you're in the presence of a tiger shark, same as a great white shark, they command respect. It's awe-inspiring, and I didn't feel fear. I felt the peace. Peace can be elusive. The Scuba Nation crew is on the right path to places unknown, above and below the waterline. Next up, Cape Town. As we head south, the temperatures plummet, seals and penguins replace coral reefs and balmy waters.
Colloquially named the Mother City, Cape Town is located at latitude 33.55 degrees south, approximately the same as Sydney and Buenos Aires, and equivalent to Casablanca and Los Angeles in the Northern Hemisphere. The next step of the journey takes us to the Cape Fur Seal experience. Located just a hop and a skip away from Hout Bay, close to Cape Town. The dive here was different, starting with the water temperature, which was colder than most places at a chilling 51 degrees Fahrenheit. Additionally, this was not our usual deep dive, it was a snorkel, where most of the activity took place near the surface of the water, where we share the ocean floor with frolicking and with what appears to be our most camera-friendly guests in our 47 days in Africa.
It's always been a dream of mine to see the Cape Fur Seals of South Africa. I remember as a kid, I watched them in National Geographic magazine, flipping through the pages. To see them up close and personal, you understand why people come so far away to witness these animals and the beauty of the Southern Cape. This is life. Plans change. Life throws you changes. To recognize it, to embrace the moment, is indeed a life lesson. One that should not be taken lightly, because you never know what unexpected, beautiful surprises await just around the corner. As we wrap up this journey, I leave with a different perspective on life, a truer meaning on the value of new beginnings. I hope you enjoyed this journey with the Scuba Nation crew, and there'll be many more.